Okay, so our next assignment will hopefully be something that can be fun and just kind of out of the norm for what we normally do in illustration in general. I've really enjoyed giving this assignment prompt, and I think the students who have worked on this assignment before have enjoyed it, and you'll be able to see a little bit of what they've done. But first, I just want to show some examples of how artists and designers have used lettering in unconventional ways. So the first, I have kind of put these into categories. So the first one is letters and body. This is Jessica Walsh and Sagmeister. They were working together for a few years, but I thought that this was a fun way to incorporate letters into the human figure. So this is using makeup and paint, almost like a human sculpture. This is another example, and you can watch the video at this link here if you want. This one, it might be kind of creepy for some people, so sorry about that. This is a pretty famous poster, actually, that Sagmeister did several decades ago. Please don't mutilate your body or anyone else's for this assignment. But I mean, it is creative. He's crazy. He's a little crazy. But this is a fairly well-known poster in the design world. Here's letters in hair, and thinking about different ways that letters can be incorporated into beauty and fashion. And this was a project assignment from a student last year, and she used makeup and did a photo shoot. Okay, the next category that I've collected is letters and food. There's a lot of artists who use different food to make interesting lettering and images. One thing I want you to think about is if you do choose to work with food, or really, any of the unconventional mediums, I want you to think about styling the image and consider the environment as a part of the composition. This is another photographer, Brooke Morrill, who put this project together with food and lettering. And then these are some examples, again, from a previous semester. Jenny used a template or a cutout that she made herself, and then put the seasoning into a cup, and she styled the image. And this is another one, which is really fun. Consider lighting. So there might be some skills that you're not as used to using, but trying to get a good photograph in general can really help to emphasize the word. Okay, and then these are just ways that you can put words together in all sorts of different ways. So this one was just, I think, oranges in a fence. This is a mural, so kind of a more traditional approach. It's still 2D, but it's just on a much larger space. I've always thought this one was really fun, drawing on a toilet or, any 3D object. And I do think it's always fun when the lettering is aware of the object that it's on and related to it. Here are some 3D sculptures. So this looks like it actually might be created in the computer, but it is not. It was actually made by just putting a bunch of pencils, I believe, into styrofoam, and then spray painting it until it became this hanging sculpture. Here are some 3D paper sculptures. So you can work with paper, but think about them not in a 2D traditional approach, but in more of a 3D sculpture, or you could also consider a pop-up. So for the actual assignment, you'll create a letter, a word, or short phrase using an unconventional medium or found objects. You can use any medium besides digital or 2D drawing on paper. So you can paint on a 3D object or use an unconventional medium, food, stitching, or textile, sculpture, mural, makeup, etc. You must submit a photo documentation, and you cannot use or assemble existing letter forms. So I don't want you to go to Michael's and buy a letter sculpture and just paint it. I want you to really create the letter form and be mindful of creating an interesting letter. You must create the letter strokes with your objects or chosen medium. So when you're choosing a medium, keep in mind to choose something that is feasible to accomplish, that you can still do within the 2-week time limit. But also consider, pushing yourself, experimenting, thinking outside of the box of what you might normally do. As a part of this assignment, you will do the normal thumbnails, tight sketches, and then you'll have a photo of your work. I also want you to create a step-by-step plan and include a list of materials needed as a part of your planning stage. Okay, the details about the deadlines are in Canvas, and please just always be aware of all of the prompt details and make sure to review them.